It gets harder and harder for the U of L men. They've fallen to 2-19 on the season, 0-10 in the ACC. The 10th consecutive defeat came Saturday at Notre Dame, a team that was 1-9 in the league coming in. Eric Crawford joins me. Eric, they trailed by 22 at halftime, 30 in the second half to a team that's not very good. The lows keep getting lower, and as you wrote on WDRB.com, it should not be this bad.
No, I mean, I don't think any of us expected them to challenge for the upper division of the ACC, but I don't think we expected them to be down 30 to a one-win ACC team. That just shouldn't happen at Louisville, and no, they don't have a lot of talent on this team, but the talent that's there is playing worse than the sum of its parts, and there's a lot that goes into that. People, of course, blame Kenny Payne, and he's the coach. He's going to have to own it. But there are a lot of things that went into this, including players kind of being beat down by some of the experiences they've had at Louisville.
Yeah, there are some alarming numbers the team is currently producing. These are NCAA Division I numbers out of 352 total teams. Some that really stand out, 317th in field goal percentage at 41%. That's hovering near the lowest for the team since 1960. Cards are number 346 in scoring margin, getting outscored by 12 points a game, and they are 352nd and last in assist-to turnover ratio. You know, coaches talk about wanting a 2-to-1 assist-to turnover ratio. The number's almost the opposite of that, almost twice as many turnovers as assists. And as you said, Eric, reasonable fans didn't expect really a ton out of this team, but they didn't expect one of the worst teams in the country either. What concerns you the most about what you've seen?
Well, I think the thing that I look at when I see this team is, first off, you're not going to get assists when you can't make shots and they can't make shots. To be the first team since 1960 to not even shoot 40%, that's a bad thing. But this team has been able, in spurts, to play all right, to play alongside some decent teams. And they'll give you a good 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Sometimes they'll give you a good 30 minutes in a game, but they can't finish it off. And what that talks about is discipline, and it's guys that are just unable to put it together. And the other thing it talks about that we know about is that they don't have depth. They can't go to the bench and get somebody that can come in and spell the headline guys, and they haven't really been able to develop that depth over the course of a season.
Not a lot of talent, not a lot of numbers.
No, there's nowhere to turn.
Director of Athletics Josh Hurd told you a couple weeks ago that he had confidence in Kenny Payne and the staff, that it would take time. Do you believe there's anything that could change about that by the end of this season?
I don't think so. I mean, let's remember that this was just a few games ago. They were like 2-16 when he said that. So 2-19 is not going to make any big difference. I do think that, you know, the only thing that could change any of this equation is if Kenny Payne started to feel like he wasn't somehow doing it, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think Kenny wants to bail on it at this point, even though this has been an incredibly frustrating and disappointing time for him.
No doubt about it. Kentucky, switching gears, now 14-7 overall after having its 4-game win streak snapped by Kansas last night. Still on a better trajectory than they were a couple weeks ago, but a win last night would have looked really good on the resume.
Well, that's what they need, too, is a resume, because they got that win at Tennessee, which is very impressive. As you said, that's a tough place to go and make something good happen. And when they did that and followed it up with a few wins, you thought, well, okay, they're on a new course. But this game against Kansas, again, the concern with Kentucky is that against good teams, they're not as good, and they didn't get the job done at home. That game was teed up for them to win. Prime time, national TV audience. Kansas had lost 3 straight. Kentucky's playing their best basketball season, the best crowd in Rupp Arena since COVID, and they can't get it done.
Yeah, that was a Rupp Arena crowd, wasn't it?
That's worrisome, yeah. That's worrisome.
No doubt. Indiana has helped its tournament chances with a 5-game win streak, including last night over Ohio State. They're 15-6 now overall, riding veteran big man Trace Jackson Davis.
You know, you said it right there. He's the key to this, and he's on a historic run. He's a double-double machine, playing the best basketball of his career. I don't know what got into him, because I wonder about a lot of these guys. When they have a lot of pro potential, they sometimes don't look really motivated. Something woke him up, because he's playing lights out, double-double, and this has been done on his back. I mean, other guys are playing well, but look, you look at them, they've got key injuries. Mike Woodson's been out with COVID, and Trace Jackson Davis just says, hey, guys, climb on and go, and he's taken them a long way. So kudos to him, and looks good for the Hoosiers as long as he's going to play like that.
And it's just about February.
Yes, it is.
Things should be getting pretty serious.
Yeah, we're right about there.
Thank you for joining us, Eric.
Good.
about all the good. Rick, give me something Indiana needs to improve